A few weeks ago, I did a demonstration video where I took this extra wide 6-foot John Deere mower and put it over here on this Summit 25 horsepower tractor and mowed some tall grass with it. I mowed some short grass with it and some tall grass with it, and my conclusion in that video was this mower had no business being on a tractor that small. And that is not anything negative to say about the Summit tractor, but the simple fact of the matter is it's a 24.5 horsepower tractor. And this is a rebranded ITL tractor, so it's not like Summit made this engine. This is a tried and true Mitsubishi engine with a tried and true hydrostatic transmission, giving us 18 horsepower out the back of the tractor on the PTO. And for those of you that are familiar with tractors, this isn't news to you, but the PTO is the output shaft on the back of the tractor that drives equipment like a mower. But what I was surprised about on that video the most was the number of comments that said that they had a similar sized tractor. I forget the brands. I remember at least one was a Kubota. And they said they ran this size mower or larger, 84 inch, which would be 12 more inches wider than this mower. And I don't doubt people's reality. I mean, they have what they have, they do what they do, and that's what they believe in. And I've got no problem at all with that. But in that video, it was very conclusive that a 25 horsepower tractor can't run this mower, not only in tall grass that I was showing, but even in short grass. And in fact, the drag of this motor is so much that when I first engaged the PTO, it stalled out that tractor. Now this tractor here is a L3901, is a 2017 Kubota tractor with a hydrostatic transmission. They call it the 3901, but it has 38 engine horsepower. And then it loses a little bit of that horsepower by the time it comes out the back here, which makes it a 32 PTO horsepower tractor. And that's important. If you're looking at tractors and you're doing a lot of mowing and a lot of things that involve PTO work, the most important number for you is going to be the PTO number or the PTO horsepower. And you have more PTO horsepower on manual shift tractors because a manual transmission doesn't rob as much power from the engine as an automatic transmission like a hydrostatic. But the 32 coming out of this Kubota is close to double of the 18 coming out of that Summit, and that's important. The reason why that's relevant and why I'm making this video today is to show in both short and tall grass how these mowers perform when they're right sized to the tractor, but also to show that this pretty powerful compact tractor with 32 PTO horsepower is going to bog down with a 6-foot mower. I have mowed this acreage a lot out here with this mower. I bought this mower, I reconditioned it. I know it's in good working condition. And I know that it will bog down in grass that you wouldn't call like hay-ready grass. So if you're just mowing normal size or normal length lawn grass, it's gonna have no problem handling it at a fairly high speed. But if you get into tall grass, then this mower can actually shut down this tractor. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm not sure how you run a mower wider than this on a tractor as small or smaller than that. But we're just going to go out and do some mowing and show you for ourselves. So to establish a little bit of a baseline for this demonstration, we're going to be using a 6-foot mower with a 32 PTO horsepower tractor, 5-foot mower with an 18 PTO horsepower tractor. And they're basically the same, and both blades are about equal sharpness. I just checked the blades on this mower. I just sharpened them maybe an acre or two ago, and they're still fairly sharp. And this one probably has 5 or 6 acres on it, but it's got a different type of blade. This has what's called a Cutlass blade. It's a blade that has 4 cutting edges on it that are hinged, as opposed to that one having the traditional blades. This gives you a little bit better cut quality. It mulches up a little better, but that's the difference. So I don't want there to be, oh, it's the blades, because I've run this mower plenty with the same exact traditional blades that were on that, and it's the same result. This will be our short grass demonstration area. A lot of people put comments on that last video I was talking about that, well, the grass wasn't perfect or anything like that. So I'm trying to have some good baselines here. So we've got some Bahia grass that is not stemmy at all and was cut for hay just a week ago. We baled the hay 2 nights ago, and now it's just regrowing. It's very healthy, plenty of rain, plenty of fertilizer, and this is how tall it is. And there's no seed pods or stems. It's just a fairly coarse green grass that should give us a good demonstration on what the tractor can handle. So this is what I'm going to predict. I'm going to predict that the Kubota isn't going to have any problem with this grass in that 6-foot mower, and where it's thicker over here, that it's actually going to slow down the Summit, because that's asking it to do a lot. And again, this is showing how important PTO horsepower is. So we got both tractors in position here, and yesterday I actually put a canopy from Artillion on the Summit, and that's making a world of difference out here working in the hot Florida sun. So thanks to John out at Artillion, we now have some shade on the Summit tractor, and soon we're going to be getting something for the Kubota, so stay tuned for that video. But here's the configuration, a little bit wider than the tires on the Kubota, just a hair wider than the tires on the Summit. So I'm going to go 540 PTO RPM, which is about 2,600 engine RPM on this tractor. I'm going to engage the PTO. I'm probably going to go fairly fast, not as fast as I can, but this has a 2-speed hydrostatic transmission. This has a 3-speed. So I've got to go a little bit faster and low here to be what I'll be doing in this one in M or medium. All right, PTO's engaged. RPMs are up. Let's go. Okay, from the seat of the tractor, absolutely no problem handling that grass. It cut it well. I was going as fast as I would want to go across bumpy ground. It left a nice smooth finish. It's rear discharge, so it discharged evenly across the back of the mower. No complaints. Tractor handled it fine. Maybe in this situation, it could handle a wider mower, but based on my last observation, it could barely even start that mower. So maybe if there was a mower that was a little wider, but not as heavy duty as that John Deere one, I don't know. I just know that when I engaged the PTO, it stalled the tractor, and it was really hard to get the tractor at a high enough RPM so that when you engaged the PTO, that it would spin that big John Deere mower. So now we're going to switch over, do 4 passes over here with that mower. Shouldn't be any problem handling that mower at all, but we just want to set a baseline. Everything's looking good. Let's engage the PTO. Get it up. 540 RPM. Let's go. And what I'll say about driving that Kubota with that mower, there's no replacement for displacement. The bigger engine, the more power. I said the Summit was handling that 5-foot mower, and it was, but on turns, and if I tried to go a little faster, you could hear that it was laboring just a little bit. I mean, it's handling it fine. There's never going to be damage to that tractor using that mower on it. But with the Kubota, I felt like I had tons more power, and I could have run a bigger mower. And that's the simple fact of the displacement and the crankshaft size and all that other inertia type of stuff with a bigger engine. Both of them did great. Both of them did a great job. Cutlass blades on the John Deere mower did a much better job of clipping up and just kind of having a more even cut than the traditional blades. But tractor-wise, mower-wise, that was a good demonstration for short grass. So since the Kubota's running, we're going to go ahead and do the Kubota first. And I guess first thing I'll say is that these mowers are not made to do grass that tall. And I've got some videos out from last year where we used this mower with traditional blades and also Cutlass blades when we were keeping this pasture mode. And it was a struggle. And I'm not going to lie, neither one of these tractors are going to do great here. But this is the point that I wanted to prove, that with a pretty strong tractor and only a 6-foot mower, how are you going to take a smaller tractor like in the comment from the last video and run a bigger mower? This tractor is going to struggle, and I'm going to creep through here, and if I went faster, I could probably actually shut the tractor down. Another thing, it's really hot out here, mid-90s or so, high humidity. I'm going to keep my eye on the temperature of the tractor. Last thing I want to do is overheat it. It needs to run cool, but it's been running about middle of the gauge. I'm only going to do 2 strips here, down and back with each tractor, and I'm going to leave this long grass right here on the side, so we always have that to compare it to. And that way we'll be able to see how each tractor does in each of its passes. All right, engage the PTO out here in the short grass. Right there, the tractor almost stalled. I'm also not overlapping, giving the mower a chance here. The impression is what I expected. If I tried to go fast in that grass, it would just bog the tractor down. That tractor said it twice in this video. This is the 3rd time. 32 PTO horsepower. 6-foot mower, and I could have stalled the tractor by going too fast. Again, the whole point of this video is to talk about right sizing your equipment for your PTO horsepower. This tractor could probably turn a wider mower in lesser grass under ideal conditions, but you never know what conditions you're going to run into or need it to do, and you don't want to overtax your tractor. But let's go grab the Summit. We'll do the same exact thing. I think it's going to handle it worse, but I don't know. We're going to find out. Another shout out to Artillion. This seat was a lot cooler than that Kubota seat because this canopy's keeping the sun off of it. So that's, just so you can hear me, that speed right there was bogging the tractor down about 100 RPMs. It's cutting, but it's struggling. All right, I'm going to use the GoPro, get some footage of the RPMs. I had to go really slow. That is as real world a scenario as I can put these 2 machines through. I can't control anything outside of this video. This grass is the height that it is. This mower, this tractor, that mower, that tractor, they are what they are. And as a content creator, it's just up to me to bring you that information so you can make informed decisions, so you have a comparison. It's not up to me to control the comments or what people have on their tractor. All I can say is based on my experience, based on using both of these tractors, that one has almost 500 hours on it, and this Summit I now have 120 hours on it, and I've got a lot of videos out there about using this finish mower, and I like this setup. This is a great setup. It's great on fuel mileage. Now that it's got a canopy, it's a cooler setup for me as I'm driving and operating it. But it has limitations. There is no replacement for displacement, and the Kubota with the higher horsepower just gets the job done, the harder jobs done, in a way that doesn't cause you to slow down or put excessive strain on the tractor. So those are my conclusions coming out of this video. So put a comment down below. What did you think about this demonstration? I tried to make it as fair and unbiased as I could. It has nothing to do with the brand name on the tractor. It has everything to do about the implement and how much horsepower is at that PTO shaft at the back. But hopefully you enjoyed today's video. I've got to get out of here and do some mowing because there's thunderclouds and lightning right there to our south. So until next time, y'all take care out there, and remember, life's short, tractor hard.